Hi, I'm Katie Sky, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the island of Scuttle. This, of course, is my pirate-themed jungle island, and this is the build that we did last week while I get stuck behind a tree. It's a very jungly jungle, and this is where we're going to be working today. It's not a huge area, but I have already terraformed it. I do need to fix a little bit of the terraforming because I didn't make them perfect. I just did a rough terraform, but now we can go ahead and get started on this really weird museum build. Okay, it's not weird, it's just different. It's something that I've never really done, so it's gonna be kind of like a ancient temple type of a build vibe. So first I need to connect the existing path to the new path, which is what I'm doing here, before I move on to the actual build, because otherwise I will forget to connect them and then you'll just not know where to go from the end of that path. Now we're moving on to my favorite part, which is the spiky fence. I'm obsessed with this fence. I've always wanted to use it, and I've been using it in every possible way on this island because I don't know that I'll ever be able to use it again. But it fits the theme so well. And we're just gonna take the fence and kind of line these giant holes in the ground so that people don't necessarily fall in. Now, if you climb over the fence or you jump in, that's your business, but we're trying to make it as safe as it can be when it's not really safe in the first place. So, the pits in the ground are what we're going to work on next, and they are shark pits. As you can see, I put the little water code on the base, on the bottom, on the floor, on the ground, that's the word. And then we put little shark, guys on top, so it looks like they're like in a little shark pit that's protecting the temple. And you have to kind of walk the plank in a way to get over the shark area to the actual temple area. Hence the fence, to kind of make sure you don't just accidentally walk off, but just be careful walking the plank because who knows, maybe they're jumping sharks. I don't know. Maybe it's a special breed. And look at this guy. He was very unfortunate. He got by the sharks, that's for sure. And then they spit his bones out into a nice tidy pile because that makes sense, right? So now I'm really just finishing out this little area with some bushes and flowers before we move on to the next area. And the next area that we are going to work on is the little plank. I don't know what to call it, but this little land bridge, I think that's what I'm working for. And I will fix that little missing one. And now we can move on to the actual museum area. Obviously, the museum is not here yet, so let's go ahead and place that down. And then I'm going to quickly time travel so that we can move the building all the way in. And here we are. And I even fixed the little missing tile, terraformed tile. And now we can start making this look like a temple. So the temple area is going to be a very lush jungle area, but it's also going to have these statues that maybe they worshipped or are there for protection. Like this guy, the little warrior statues, they're going to be there for protection. They're protecting and guarding the temple for sure. I just really wanted to make sure that I could use some of the statues that I don't normally get to use on islands, because since it is a temple build, you know, there's gonna be like ancient things like statues there, right? And there will of course be lots of tiki torches, but before I put the tiki torches back down, I want to do a little pathway, a decking, and I do change out the edges because I decide that I don't actually like the edges being all jagged like that. So I do just the straight edges, but I made sure to add in some little missing pieces so that so you can tell that it's kind of like old and falling apart, crumbling, you know, temple vibes. And then adding in all of the tiki torches so that you can see your way to the actual temple. And then I did add in the little ruined arch, and then I moved the tiki torches to the sides of that instead of being in front of it so that we can do a little pathway to the other areas. So first we're going to do little planks over to the area where Phoebe and Cranston are, which we did in the last video. You know, maybe the dinosaurs in their area, they're also protecting the temple, and maybe the pirates that moved onto this island are super respectful of said temple. That's what I feel. I feel like they would be respectful, and so they protect it and preserve it. And so maybe Cranston and Phoebe kind of keep an eye on things so that nothing weird happens to the temple area, because pirates were definitely known for being respectful. And I did decide that I didn't like the arch, and instead I did these little glowing moss statues, and that's kind of like they're also guarding the temple. There's a lot of guarding going on in this temple area. And I'm just double checking that I like how that looks before I'm moving on, and I want to add in some bushes and flowers. Should I have done this before I blocked the area off with the statues? Yes, but I didn't, so we're just gonna have to manage, because I did not think ahead, and I'm not really surprised that I didn't think ahead either. And then we gotta make sure that we put our little guard back, and then just repeat everything. You know, I like things to be symmetrical, so that's what I want to do. I want to make sure both sides are the same. I'm not sure that actually makes sense in a temple setting, but that's what we're gonna do. And then I need to add back in the tiki torch that I took down and make sure I don't put it underneath the tree because we don't want to catch this rainforest on fire. And now we can finally move on to this left side where our dinosaur head is from the previous video, and just fill this out fully. Just the usual trees, bushes, flowers, some broken pillars, things of that nature. And I really don't want you to be able to get to the rocks, so I'm making sure that I'm putting as many things in front as possible so you don't spoil the dinosaur magic, you know. If you guys can believe this, we have just one more build after this and the island will be complete. And it just kind of blows my mind that this island is pretty much done at this point. Like, it seems like I just started it. But I am excited to get back into some fall islands over the next few months. So we are in spooky season now, and this is my time to thrive. I just really hope you guys are ready to be sick and tired of me. But let's get back to the build. Right now I'm just putting in some more trees and trying to squeeze in a giant vine as well. And that just really leaves a little bit on the right side for me to decorate. And of course, to start on the right side, we have to do our little planks so you know where to go. Although, because I'm going to jam so many trees into this area, I don't think it would be that hard to figure out. You just go where there aren't trees. And I did contemplate doing this right hand side as part of this build as well, like where the shark pit is, but I am going to leave that for the next video, so you'll have to check back in next week to see what I end up doing in that area. Let me tell you, it was a very interesting build, and I'm just going to leave it at that. So I'm just going to fill in this right side with a bunch of trees. I just want it to feel very full and lush and jungly. I don't think jungly is a word, but what we're going with. And let me know in the comments below, are you still working on your summer island, or have you already moved on to your fall island? I'm very curious. And if you are on your fall island right now, what is the vibe? Like, are you doing straight up Halloween? Are you just doing cozy vibes? Are you doing town core? Are you doing natural? Give me all of the details. I want to know. It's definitely not research because I have some things in the works or anything like that. Definitely has nothing to do with that. So I am just going to add in the last few little bits and bobs, the last few trees, and then we're going to be pretty much done with this build. And we are done. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!